and let's have another wonderful time on the show today. It's the Living Above Fear conference, and I am glad to be here. And we have people who have been giving us testimony. Triple A says you rock, bro. Thank you, my brother. You rock too. You rock too. We are seeing each other in the evening. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to have you. It's going to be a family show. I can, brother, for being there always. All right. So the Living Above Fear Conference Day 3, and like I've been saying on the show, this is season 1 because we've got a host of global leaders line up again, so we have no choice than to have another season already. This is an avenue for people to reach out to as many people as possible. And I know people who are watching live, and also we are going to make it into materials that you can watch later on. Everybody, okay? So I really appreciate you joining. Okay. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for joining. Want to see if our guest is around, so I bring her live. All right, Shawa. Let me see. Not yet. Okay. So you can interact with me, and then in the comment section while we await the presence of our guest, you can interact with me. How have you been? How are you holding on wherever you are? We've been having a shutdown in my country, Nigeria. Although the shutdown. All right. Someone asked, "What are we expecting in this session, sir?" Okay. Yeah, that's coming from AAA. This session is going to be explosive. Adesewa Josh is someone who has a story of how she overcame fear and went to, a land called Goza in Borno State in Nigeria. That was, the headquarters of Boko Haram, a terrorist group in Nigeria then. And she was there to report the impact of our story. And I want her to share the story of how she overcame her fear, in going to do that, and also give us some necessary strategies to overcome fear. The situation we are right now in the world is creating a whole lot of fear in people. We have panic, anxieties. People are afraid. They don't know what is going to happen next. A whole lot of people are afraid of their job, of losing their job, and so many other things like that. So to let them know that you can go ahead and move mountains in spite of what is happening. This is creating a shift, just like a conference that my very good brother AAA had, a couple of weeks ago. It was called the Shift Conference. This is creating a shift, and we must try and see how we can strategize around what is happening right now and leverage on it and use it to create a platform to launch ourselves into an horizon of limitless opportunity, whereby we are no longer afraid to take some great decisions that are bigger than us, that you have to conceive visions that are bigger than you, that are greater than you. So you have to see how you can leverage on this moment to do that. So that is the evening. It would even be a live coaching session from AAA himself. He is one of the most sought after coaches in the world right now, and we are glad he is going to be with us in the evening session. That will be 4 p.m. So right now we are waiting for our guests to join in, and then we bring her up to tell us what she is going, I mean, she has for us today. So that is it. That is it. Okay. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest is in the building, and I'm going to cast. If you are ready, ladies and gentlemen, just listen to who Adesewa Josh is. In the early 1990s, Josh worked as a child actor in Nigeria, where she appeared in ABC Wonderland from Galaxy Television, Nigeria. She also worked on the soap Tinsel. Tinsel is a popular soap, you know. Josh also appeared in theater productions at the University of Ibadan Theater Art Hall, where she appeared in Wedlock of the Gods, The Gods Are Not to Blame, and Under the Moon. In 2007, Josh was a cast member of the Nigerian reality television show called Next Movie Star, which for 2012, Josh began a career as a journalist, as a co-host of the early morning show Sunrise Daily on Nigerian cable news network Channels TV in Lagos, Nigeria. She became the Channels TV evening news anchor and worked as a producer reporting on international affairs, a position she held until October 2017. After briefly working at Voice of America in New York City in 2017, Josh worked as a host of the Emmy-nominated United Nations documentary news series called 21st Century Program. In November 2017, Josh began working as a news correspondent with TRT World, based out of Istanbul, Turkey. In this position, Josh covers international affairs for TRT World News and other news platforms on Africa's development, politics, and diplomatic relations. Josh produces the news segment, The News of TRT World. She also hosts a program called Network Africa for TRT World. Josh has done extensive work on the social impact of Boko Haram insurgency on women and children. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our guest bio for today, Adesewa Josh. Okay, Adesewa, if you're watching, you can send a request so I get you added to the video, and then all right, that's the bio of Adesewa Josh. She's been a wonderful people. She's been a very good friend of mine. You know, I've known her for a very long time. Adesewa Josh is going to appear on your screen now. From Turkey, and we're going to have a good time.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm just looking at my vertical
Yes, you can help
camera.
by doing the auto rotate. Yes, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There you
auto
go.
rotate. Okay, hold on. Then I
Yeah,
don't have to. Just give me a second.
yeah. So that it will be um
No. Okay. Looks like auto rotate isn't working in this case, so I'm just going to
Okay.
turn it this way.
Okay, I think we're good this way. We're good this way.
Mm, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, well, I might have to hold it then.
Okay.
Hello.
Ago, and I
Oh
told her
yeah.
something, and I'm going to tell you that same thing today. The last time I saw
Okay.
you, see, I was like this. It's been long. How,
Yeah,
how you
it's good to see your face. You look well. I'm good. I'm
doing?
good. It's a beautiful weather outside, so as soon as we're done having this conversation, I'm gonna go take a walk in the park and just relax a little
That's
bit
lovely.
because we've been
So
working from home.
okay, that's good. That's great. How is
Yeah.
Turkey generally? How is Turkey?
Uh, Turkey is good. Istanbul is beautiful. You should come. I tell everybody who cares to listen to just, you know what? Come around and see. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful is.
Wow.
I can't begin to describe how glorious, how
Wow.
how there's so much history in this place that you can't just tell it all. You can't tell people. You just people need to visit to
Mm,
understand
mm,
um, what we're trying to tell them about the beauty of this place. So I don't bother tell people anymore. They're like, "Oh, you're living in Turkey?" Huh? I'm like, "Yeah, I live in Turkey," and I feel super privileged to come around and see. And then some of them
okay.
come around and see how beautiful it is indeed.
Okay. Now we have people interacting already. Triple A says, Adesewa, good to see you there. You know, Triple A,
Ah, good to see you too.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you. Wow, it's been like a decade or something, right?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
finished in
Long,
2006, no?
yeah, 2006, close to 2 decades.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank God for technology.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
By the
mm.
way, I should
Yeah.
commend you. You're doing such a great job with the
Oh,
conference. You're touching on a very important topic that a lot of people think they understand, don't want to talk about, are too afraid or too ashamed to confront. So
mm.
I'm just so happy to be here.
Thank you so much for thank you so much for coming on our show. Steve is one of our speakers, and he says he would love to visit Turkey. So, Steve, don't worry, we've got Shewa over there, so we can arrange when we get our
Oh,
street back.
I'll be
We are
happy.
coming to
I'll be happy to see
Turkey.
him. I'll be happy to show him
Okay,
around.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for joining. Yeah, and he says, Adesha says,
Thank you.
Turkey.
Well, I still think in my bathroom.
Stop singing. All right.
Oh
So
well.
yeah, um, um, I know a little about your trip to Goza in Borno State because
Hmm.
that's and you went to write a report about the impact the terrorist group there at the Boko Haram was having the social impact it was having in that community, despite how dangerous the place was as a result of the activities there. So first of all, tell us the story, how you went against all odds, and then how then, because the title of this conference is Living Above Fear, how you were able to go above your fear, and then you did tremendously well in that report.
Thank you so much. First of all, for those who don't know what I do, who I am, I'm not gonna assume everybody knows me. I am Adesewa Josh. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm currently in Istanbul, Turkey. I work for a station called TRT World. I cover a huge chunk of the African continent. And yes, 2 years ago, I think I was in Gwoza. Uh, just a couple of years after the to go see. We wanted to go. I wanted to do a report about the people because it's so easy to turn people and their misery into statistics. And then there's a way people are generally detached from numbers. But when you put a face on numbers, it drives the point home. So the story was basically about people who had normal lives, who up until tragedy struck, they had a routine just like you and I, and then all of a sudden they woke up one day, guns and grenades came barreling down, and it was taken over by the Nigerian military. God bless them. And you have to understand something about Gwoza is that you can't even drive there. We had to fly a helicopter to get there. And when we got there, we were completely cut away from the rest of the world, which means that if anything had happened to myself and my team, nobody would find us until like 3, 4 days, 5 days after.
There was no
all right. There was
internet.
no means of communication, and it was very strategic because at the time, and based on our intel, we understand that one of the ways that bombs were easily detonated was with the cell phone. At the time, there was some sort of correlation. I still don't understand it, but we had to listen to the intel. The rest of the world. The point I'm making is was, and I don't know if it's still, a place that was completely cut away from the rest of the world. So going to get a story out of that place itself looked very impossible. But we knew that we were not dealing with numbers, we were dealing with people. And we needed to get that story to the rest of the world. We needed to show the government, we needed to show the people, we needed to let the world see what was going on. And so, thankfully, we went in, it was planned, etc., and all of that. I wanted to tell that stories for a lot of reasons. It was a series, actually, because we went to other places. We went to Dabchi. We sort of toured the north like that. Okay. But Gwoza was a big deal because we knew we were taking a very serious risks with repercussions that could cost us our life. We did it afraid. And I'll tell you something. Fear is something that I am accustomed to. It's an emotion that I know very well, that I sort of grew up with. I know more than any other emotion, actually. So we were afraid, or at least I was. But you see, fear is an excitement that you feel when something is about to go right. All right? But could go left.
Okay.
If something went wrong. I'll say that again. Fear is something you feel when something, if something went wrong. What does that tell you? Fear is just, it's just an alert to tell you that this thing could actually go right. There is the potential that this thing is going to work.
Wow.
Only you might need to take a look at something else. So fear is just telling you that you may not have figured out a couple other things. It could be sometimes a lack of knowledge that you needed to understand a few more things before. When we started researching, research helped us bring our level of fear from like 90% to like 40%. So we were not walking blind. We were not just walking straight into a trap. We knew what to expect. We had done our research. We had a huge, we had a huge chunk of knowledge. And the more we knew, the more we knew, the more we were able to suppress the fear. So it is very important that Bible says that I'm going to bring in my Bible foundation. That my people perish because of lack of what? There's something more you need to do before you step into that territory. in most cases.
That's
And
what.
and we did all that we could. We knew we were going into an unknown territory, but we were
Yeah.
kind of prepared in terms of, I mean, we had a whole team, and it was a very small team, but we were strategic, and that sort of shut up our fear. But it didn't go away completely, because the truth is we still didn't know what to expect, but
What
we
to
were
expect.
prepared. You just go, but you never go blindly. You're armed with information. You have your contacts, etc., etc. Our fear made us conscious of some of the things that we knew. So fear would help you prepare. It will
Hmm.
propel you to prepare the right way, because that's all
Wow.
it's there to do for you. It's not there to scare you or anything. And there are different forms
Hmm.
of it, but I don't want to go too deep into it. But the truth is that of course we were afraid.